George T. There it is. He offered 400. They have it labeled for 800. So you're asking 50% discount.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
The George T.
Not for a drinker, not a flipper now. Someone that appreciates the juice. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskey Here. I got Chris behind the camera here. We've been planning this video for a long time. We're in North Louisiana. We're meeting up with a very special Patreon subscriber. First Stop Cuban Liquors. Make sure that you stay tuned for the end because we're going to be drinking, I mean, some rare whiskey.
We're drinking some unicorn.
Some unicorn. We'll see you inside.
All right, who am I here with today?
What's up, man? Grant Knuckles, one of the owners here at Cuban Liquor in Shreveport.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty cool little spot over here.
It's cool.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, man. Cuban is 90. The brand is 90 years old. One of the oldest continuously operated liquor stores, we think, in America, certainly in Louisiana.
Wow.
It was a third-generation owner that my partner and I bought it from in 2020. And Cuban has a long storied history in Louisiana. They were an importer, a wholesaler, and a retailer, and over the years consolidated into this location's been here since 1983. We try to be kind of a one-stop convenience shop. We have a really cool gourmet selection where we do cheese and charcuterie, homemade breads and dips and gift baskets. And then on the liquor side, you know, and then on the wine side, try all the cool, unique stuff. You know, we do barrel picks and whiskey raffles and all kind of good stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got a question too. As a liquor store owner, what's your go-to? Like, what's your favorite drink?
So I came to the bourbon world through Maker's Mark was like my first brand. And so I became kind of a weeded guy. Okay. But over the years, gotten more into the kind of the cast strength stuff. So, I mean, we've got a new riff pick now that I love. I'm a big fan of Green River. I undersell myself as an owner and send people to Benchmark Foolproof all the time.
So good.
For $25. I think it's one of the best, go-to everyday items. I'm a fan of the whole Willet portfolio.
Okay.
That's something kind of different for that taste profile. Kind of weeded bourbon is what I like, so that's kind of what I gravitate to.
Sounds like we got a pretty similar palate. I like what I'm hearing so far.
Yeah.
We're going to go check out the shelves now. Got a very special Patreon member with me right here, Chance. You've been in the Patreon for a long time now, right? I think so. How did you find the Whiskey Here channel?
So it was literally like a suggested YouTube thing, and then I started listening to it, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I like some of the advice, and then what really got me were the lives.
The live streams.
I went live. That's a different live experience than everybody else has. And I mean, y'all will be informative, but y'all will also just cut up. And I enjoy that. You know, that's what me and my friends do.
Yeah. I think that's why I like them. Sometimes they may get a little too out of hand.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and maybe delete the live or something. But if you were there, you know, some of these lives are great. And you drove how far today to come and meet us?
About an hour and a half, yeah.
And you have something pretty special in your car. What is it?
We've got some Rebecca Creek double
Rebecca Creek Double Barrel. I think a couple of samples I have for you.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get to it, but let's do some bourbon hunting together.
Let's do it.
Chit chat about some whiskey. How about that?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice this first time around. The 15, you don't really see much anymore. $2.99 on that one. There's quite the selection of Whistle Pig, actually. I think these are pretty old, too. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see these in stores. What is this? The Snout and Tail? Snout to Tail?
Snout to Tail, yeah, that's a new one.
Okay. Oh, this is a new one. Okay, sweet. That's probably why I haven't seen it then. Have you had any of the New Year from Barrel?
So I had 2023. It was okay. It did, for the price, it didn't blow my socks off. But,
$90.
Yeah, but they're a foundation bourbon. I don't know if they have it here. Yeah, foundation. Yeah. It's for that price. It's great. Some of these batches, especially that one, 35.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Really
I agree with 35 too. Have you had much of the K. Luke stuff yet?
I've never had K. Luke.
This is brand new, actually. He's talking to his rep. Approved 2/13/25, so it got approved February. So this is the brand new batch. I personally haven't had this one either. I have batch 9 and 10 at home. I'm a huge fan. I have batch 3's rye.
I know a lot of people talk about the toasted on that.
The toasted's incredible. That's the orange label. So the toasted is the orange label, but he has this for $119. That's the brand new K. Luke batch. This is the cheapest I've ever seen his rye, K. Luke's rye, ever. I've never seen it sub $100. That is a pretty fantastic deal for K. Luke stuff. From the rye that I have at home, it's like reminiscent of a sweet, like Thomas Handy almost. Not as viscous or high proof, but it is really good.
Well, this one's interesting. I'm actually in Randall Sullivan's Patreon as well.
Bourbon Real Talk, right?
Yeah, you got it, yeah. And this is a 12-year whiskey, and he had some trouble getting the label approved because it's actually 12-year Canadian, but it's really good 12-year.
It is good.
You talk about $54 for 12-year-old whiskey? I mean...
I met Randy, so for those of you that are familiar with Bourbon Real Talk, I actually really enjoy some of his videos, and We met at Whiskey Washback in Houston, and I think that this had just come out, and he was like, hey, you need to try this.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. I'm not going to tell you what it is first. And I was like, dude, this is damn good whiskey. And he told me that it was Canadian. I was like, hey, I like some of the Fountain North stuff, and I think that's very reminiscent of it. But I do believe that this is Alberta Premium.
Yes.
Like Alberta's, and I'm a huge Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye fan. It's incredible. Great price, too. Cheaper than Alberta. Joseph, this one caught my eye, too, for a second. Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. This is batch 396. Got it for $1.99. That sounds like one of the more recent batches. I don't know. You have any of those at home?
Yeah, I've got some older ones that are just back when Nancy was really involved with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sub 100s. Those bottles are crazy good.
They're so good. What you pointing to, Chris? Okay. We got some. Yeah, Cream of Kentucky. This one, $69.99, limit one per customer. And right next to it, I just pointed out too, we talked about this off camera, but this is the Crittenden's Cut Above, the Laura. This is $74.99. Chris, you're a big Penelope, what fan? Penelope.
Rio.
He's a big Rio fan. He's got like 4 bottles now. Yeah, he's an Amberana sweet guy. He's got a sweet tooth. But this is bourbon whiskey, finished in Amberana and honey barrel. It's a 4-year-old. I think it's a Penelope Rio killer, and you're getting it for a fraction of the price. And I like Crittenden stuff. It's cool. Made somewhat locally in Mississippi. It's our next door neighbors. He just pointed this one out. I know next week, actually, I will be going to Colorado. Jefferson's is releasing a new cask strength SKU. I'm very excited for that. But this is a $40 straight rye whiskey. I've personally never seen this Jefferson's. Have you guys, do you know anything about it? Is it any good? I'm pulling up the Bottle Raiders app now. We're going to play the over-under game. I like to play this with Hayden in some of my videos.
All right.
I'm going to do bottles only that I haven't done yet. So over-under the score of 85 for Calumet 15. What do you think?
I'll go over on that.
You go over
Yeah.
139? You have a number in mind?
89.
89. I think over as well. I think we're both over. Let's see.
I actually prefer the 15 over the 16.
88.
Hey.
We were right in between. 88. It was over though. That's a winner. Okay. I'm not crazy over this bottle.
Yeah.
I, in my opinion, don't think that this is worth over an 85, but I'm not the expert reviewing this, and there's multiple experts. What do you rate this?
I'm going to go under an 85. I'm going to say 77.
Okay.
I like the price on it for Angel's Envy. It's
Yeah, 69 bucks,
Yeah.
triple O, but I think we're both going to go under on this one. Let's see. 90. Whoa, see, we're not the experts, I guess. Yeah, I want to do one more, and then we're getting back to the regular hunt. This is $60 here, but this is Bulleit's very own. They actually distilled it themselves, and I believe it's 7 years old, right?
It's not age stated, but you can tell by the year that it's still.
Oh yeah, 2017. Okay, sweet. Let's do this one. I personally think this is a 90, so I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I'll go over on
At
that.
least a 90. That's what I think. Let's see if it's in the system. This is pretty spanking new.
Yeah.
90.
Hey.
All right. All right.
We're doing all right.
I agree with that. I agree with that rating all day long. That is a fantastic bottle, by the way. Seriously, Bulleit's now distilling their own. If you're wondering what it looks like, it's got that nice brown copper looking label to it. I think it's one of my favorite bottle to bonds under like 70 bucks. It's really good.
What's really cool is that's the introduction of what's too clean.
Oh man, you nailed it.
Man.
Imagine when they're like the 10 to 12, everything's their own product. It's
Right.
going to be incredible, I think.
Right.
But that was the Bottle Raiders app, by the way. I'll put a link down below if you guys want to use it. It's fun. I enjoy doing that game. I might do it in one of the other stores that we go to today. Do you have any spots that you'd recommend from here?
I've got 2 that we can go to.
Okay.
One's kind of museum, but we should go see it.
We're going to go. Yeah, let's do it. Museum prices. All right, down here too, Green River Weeded, Bourbon, Foolproof, and Rye. Out of these, I always say I'm the Rye, the Foolproof, and Wheat. I don't know, I just can't get behind the Bourbon a whole lot. How about, do you have?
So the single barrel bourbons, some of those are really good.
Yes.
But yeah, the Foolproof is where I stay with that. I've actually never had the Rye.
Oh, you should. It's fantastic rye for that price. I think one of the best. Okay. Uncle Nearest single barrel here. That's pretty cool to see. This proof is $121 for $89.99. That's a pretty, standard solid price that I see Uncle Nearest for. I'm a big fan of the single barrels. It's really good stuff. If you like the Jack Daniel's profile, like the barrel proof, the gold labels right here, speaking of, then you'll like that. Moving on to this, $66.99 for this Jack Rye. What's the proof? 131 proof. I like when they get above a 130. I'm a huge fan of especially the ryes, guys. And what's crazy is some of you that watch the videos that let me know you can't get the rye in your area. That baffles me. It really does blow me away.
It's allocated some places. Texas, it's on the shelf just like here.
Everywhere, right? Texas has Weller too. Green label.
Green label, yeah.
Green labels everywhere. Some of the dark art stuff. I got this one at home. It's the rye finish in Amberana. That's why I have a feeling you might like that one. That was a gift from Donk. Shout out to Donk for that one. But up here, some of the 4-gate stuff, any of those that you guys know, I mean, they're all 200 plus. Let me know which.
That Split Stagg by Kelvin is really good. There's a local bar here that has that bottle that I get drinks at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which Obtania is that? This is a 27-year-old, 75 proof. Whoa. Cat's Eye Obtanium, 27-year-old, 75.5% ABV. That sounds pretty interesting. 234 bottles, 180 bucks. Look at the color though. I mean, that looks like piss. Apple juice, it's really light. What's Rare Perfection? Do you know who makes that?
Isn't Rare Perfection Preservation Distillery?
Could be. Maybe somebody down here knows a little bit. You pointed out this one for me earlier.
Yeah, 9-year. I know you're a fan of the 9-year.
Huge fan. $96.99 for the Pinhook 9-year. If you've got like the sweet tooth or you enjoy the caramel butterscotch brown sugar notes on a whiskey or bourbon, I think that nails that on the head. It sips at a fantastic proof, 114 proof, around that age. So it's very good. Be on the lookout for that. Hey.
Okay.
Oh, what do you think?
No.
Dude,
Not me.
save $74. It's not it for me. Henry McKenna 10-year, $69.99. Right next to some Ben Holiday stuff. What do you think of these? My hot take is I think it's okay.
So the McKenna stuff is so hit or miss that I've stopped buying them.
Yes.
They're that. Now these, you can find a pick in them in the Ben Holidays, you're good. But the Rickhouse proofs, I liked them when they first came out, but they've kind of just gotten stale for me.
It's a little bit stale. And the price tag is kind of what kills me. I know it's not cash free, but for sub $50, you can get a 7-year-old Kentucky bourbon. I think it's a little better for my palate. Right above it too, we were just talking about some hard true stuff. I love their labels, love their bottles, their corks, and their whiskey's fantastic. $52.99 for the Sweet Mash Bourbon, $66.99 for the Sweet Mash Bottled and Bond, $83.99 for the Sweet Mash Rye. I actually haven't had this one yet, but Sweet Mash Weeded sounds very good. And I don't know if it's in my head when I hear Sweet Mash. I know it probably is because that just comes to mashing in. But this stuff is sweet. Their rye whiskey is so sweet, it's great, and I love it for the price. This one, I need you guys' recommendation now below in the comments. I still don't know much about it. Which one of these would you have bought out of all the Rye 3 stuff? Okay, we were talking, shout out to Joe S Unfiltered. He let me know, now if you check the back and if it says distilled by Willett, this is Willett's juice. Supposedly it's supposed to taste like a baby purple top. I don't know. I think I might try to grab one of these and see, and if I don't like it, we'll dump it into the infinity barrel. But I've always wanted to try one, and not everywhere gets these, so I might take this home today. But before we pass it up too, got the whole lineup of Benchmark as well down here. As you heard the store owner say, we're both pretty big fans of the Full Proof for $25. It's fantastic. It's Buffalo Trace Distillery. Can't go wrong. RD1 Amburana. I was looking for freaking ever. I had to go to an event and they were requesting RD1 Amburana. I couldn't find it anywhere near my area, and they have some here. And now, of course, my area is full of it. So a little frustrating. $49 now. That rosé is not a $70 bottle anymore. I mean, that's one I'll recommend all day long for your old fashions. A little bit of a step up from the lower end products. I love that Penelope Rosé. They literally finish it right here. Look, straight bourbon whiskey finished in rosé wine cask. It's soft, it's sweet, it's very good. I'm a huge fan.
If you get some of the older bottles, they have a glass.
Yes, I have one, and that I will say I hate that damn glass cork.
It's a pain.
It is a pain in my ass. I mean, I'm not going home with this. Did y'all know that they make a Crown 31 year though? Extra rare, $600. That's how rare it is. I was just saying too. The Redbreast 27 year just went up in price. Now it's $849.99. But when I was in New York, they had pours of it at this bar for $18 a pour. I had a couple pours that night. I mean, it's delicious. I love Redbreast stuff. I'm a huge fan. I actually got started with the 12 year during my whiskey journey. That was the first more expensive bottle I bought, and then moved on to the cash drink. But yeah. So we got Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered for $74.99. Just a couple of things I missed over. Russell Single Barrel for $69.99. Still Austin Cash Drink Rye, $67.99. Cash Drink Bourbon, $64.99. These are the two that I like that he has available. And then Bowman Brothers, $36.99. That's a solid bottle of whiskey that I think most people should have on their shelf. I think it's really good. And I'm gonna grab this because I haven't had it yet. I just want to try it. Yeah, just want to try it, and if I don't like it, I'll dump it into the barrel. That's what we'll do with this. $54.99. It's hard to find a store pick for under that, but this is their pick of New Riff. Huge New Riff fan, especially what's coming out recently. Distilled April of 2020. So yeah, New Riff barrel pick, and they also have some Elijah Craig, some of their barrel pick that was still at the distributors coming. So that'll be here pretty soon before we head out of the store. If you smell it, it reminds me a lot of the softer, chalky peppermints that come around there.
Yeah.
So weird. I never got that off of a whiskey before. Really good for under $60 too. I said this recently in one of my videos too. I think that New Riff is one of the, I mean, they already are one to talk about, but I really do think in the next 5-ish years when their products, like I said, barrel picks are going to be 6+ years old. They're probably going to have their 10-year age statement coming out this year or next year. I think they're going to be one of the top brands like that are making quality whiskey every time.
Right.
Always said that. And I like this pick a lot. This is good. All right, this is a first impression for someone that's never had Brother Justice. We have a barrel pick coming up for our Patreon soon. Different than this, but I'm curious.
Kanan asked, what do you want me to bring, Chance? I said this.
Yeah. Can you see what I'm talking about whenever you smell it?
Oh, the nose is awesome. That's not like most single malts I've had.
No.
It tastes like a candy of some sort, and there's a funk. I don't know. I can't explain.
Yeah, but it's good.
Super
It's got good ethanol on it. What proof is that?
124.
It's with me. It's still
It's
It's
Stagg.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there for sure.
And I think that's
viscous.
That's
Holy.
benefit to it being a single malt. I've noticed single malts will stick with you, but this one in particular lingers. And I've always said this reminds me of Red Twizzlers. And our barrel pick that we did, you don't get this Twizzler note that you're getting, but there's something about that sweet red fruit cherry-ish type of thing that you're getting. Ours tastes like a Stagg Junior. I don't know how. It does. All right, so we just finished up at our first stop, Cuban. We got a couple more spots to go to. Make sure you stay tuned. But Chance opened the back, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Is this bourbon? So, okay, we know what's in here. I mean, it's 4 of these.
Yeah.
Rebecca Creek Double Oak. I got you guys, all right? Chance got you guys. We've been planning this for months now.
Yeah, a couple.
And I really appreciate you, man, because that's what I want my Patreon to be all about, is I want you guys to find bottles that you can't necessarily find. Rebecca Creek Double Oak is one of the best bourbons I've had, period.
And you know I've already sent to Card. And
You sent
Alan,
4 to Card. He brought 5 here today so we can hook some more people up. I'm super excited about that. But then, what is this?
So we came to the first place first, but I thought that these guys might want to see something that's bourbon adjacent that they do in Shreveport, Louisiana. So there's a place called High Gravity Glassworks. It's a glass blower. You can go and take classes there. You can do projects. And I talked her into making Glencairns, custom Glencairns.
They're beautiful.
You put the color in. You decide how it's made, but you actually shape them. You can make them yourself.
You can go do that yourself.
You can do it yourself, but she also has them on the shelf for purchase.
What?
But just beautiful glassware.
Oh my God, look at that. And
See what
also,
they can do.
we just tried this, by the way, inside.
A little buff turkey.
Some buff turkey. If you guys have heard the rumors, Wild Turkey reached out to Buffalo Trace, had them distill using their recipe, essentially. This is like 15, 16-year-old juice, right?
Yeah, 15 to 16. Some of them are just turning 17 this year.
108.6 proof. It doesn't taste like turkey. It doesn't taste like Buffalo Trace. It tastes like a perfect baby of both of them.
Yeah.
It tastes a little bit more like Buffalo Trace, if I'm being honest.
They're fantastic. They're expensive, but they're fantastic.
They are really good. I've never tried one. Thanks to Chance for letting me try one. That was delicious. We had awesome tasting inside. This guy just pulled out the craziest bottle I've seen in a very long... Look at this. He's got the 16-year-old Russells distilled in 2003. How did you get this? Can you say?
Yeah, this was several trades.
Several trades.
Yeah. I worked my way up to it.
I want to taste this like so bad. I saw this in New York once and it was for thousands of dollars. And I said, I'll never get to try it.
So the crazy thing about this bottle is it went into the barrel so low. It went into the barrel at 107.
Oh my gosh.
And it was in Camp Nelson, lots of moisture. So it actually went down in proof. So this thing's only 90 proof, but it is the most full flavor 90 proof whiskey I've ever had in my life.
We got to try this. We got to try
For those
it.
who haven't tried it, what do you think about it? What do you get?
That's what we're going to let you know. We're going to try this.
I mean, it's crazy how sneaky, full flavor, low proof it is. And that's a unique thing in whiskey. People say I'm a proof hound. I'm not really chasing proof. I'm chasing flavor.
Yeah.
This has flavor at such a low proof.
Yeah. Dude, I am very excited. Stay tuned. Make sure you don't miss when we taste this at the end of the video. All right, next spot, we're at Tony's. I feel like I'm back in New York. Shout out to Card, man. Card Knox and Knox. We're back at Tony's. We're gonna try their Maker's Pick. Listen, if I walk into a liquor store and they have a Maker's Mark pick, that's my favorite. Oh yeah. Maker's Mark, I'm a huge Maker's Mark fan. Creamy, vanilla note, some caramel.
No French spice. There we go.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this is the Easter eggnog.
Easter egg.
Okay. Like a milkshake.
It's a phenomenon.
It's a local phenomenon.
That's great.
Dude, that's really good.
Awesome, man.
I mean, I'm sure. Oh my God, it smells like it tastes like a shake, like a good ice cream shake. How much sugar's in this?
Well,
No.
we always say you don't want to know. If you have to ask, you may want to not drink it.
It's not one single calorie. They come in multiples of 100.
It is sweet.
Yeah.
It is sweet, but it is good.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I can appreciate, some of y'all might think, it's outdated. I like our carpet floor, when I'm gonna look. Dude, it feels like I'm wearing some Dr. Scholl's insoles right now. This feels great on my feet. I really appreciate that. This is OG. All right? Let's talk about the whiskey selection now.
The first thing that caught my eye, a Russell Single Barrel, $67.99 here. They even got the OG labels, handwritten labels. And look, is this their pick?
Yep, 9-year
Oh,
private.
Oh, wow.
9-year private barrel. I don't see I think there's a price in the front. We'll talk about that, so stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that in a second. Oh, is that a new batch of Maker's Mark 46 cask strength?
Yeah, I think that's the new label.
Because there's no black anymore.
Yeah, that's the new label.
Okay, $64.99 for that. Have you had Maker's 101?
Yes, it's solid.
For under $40,
Yeah.
normally it's fantastic whiskey. This here, $39.99 for that one. They got JT Mellick, of course. You got the JT Mellick regular small batch next to the high proof, $62.99, and then $44.99 for the regular. Baker's 7. This Baker's 7 is 7-year, 2-month. This one right here is the Baker's High Rye Bourbon, $69.99 for the 7-year 107 proof. I've never, ever, I gotta pull this out. I've never heard of this before. $7.99 for Kentucky Dale. That's a pretty cool name right there.
Just to throw in the infinity barrel.
Kentucky. I don't know if I want to. This might be vodka that's colored. What do you got in the fridge? I don't got beer, but I got Kentucky Dale. All right. $26.99 for Buffalo Trace. And they got a lot of it here. I saw in the front of the store there was cases on cases of Buffalo Trace. So $26.99 is a solid price. That's that's what you want to pay. Anything below that, you're getting a steal for, in my opinion. Evan Williams Single Barrel, $39.99. Huge fan of Evan Williams Single Barrel. But in my opinion, this is one of my favorite starter whiskeys of all time. A lot of people, I'm going to pull it out. A lot of people are going to tell you that the 100 proof, the bottled and bond, for $21.99, it is fantastic. I will say, and I've had a lot of whiskey, and if you know my palate by now, I do think this is a little bit more nutty, peanut butter forward than this is. This, to me, for a dollar more, literally a dollar more, I think is a little bit more of a sweeter profile, a little bit more inviting. It is lower proof, it's 90 proof, but I personally prefer Evan Williams 1783 over the 100 proof. That's me. Let me know down below. Is that a hot take? I've never seen this Ezra Brooks. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, they're doing those distiller collections, and now they're doing wood finishes too on Ezra's.
Okay.
I've been seeing those pop up in Texas.
Kind of like a Maker's wood finishing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, this one is Sour Mash, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It is 107 proof for $39. That's a good price.
Mm-hmm.
For 107 proof. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Distillers.
And then I also just saw here, there it is. We're just talking about Old Ezra. It's an Old Ezra 7 years straight rye full proof for $62.99. That's actually a really good price. Pretty standard price, but a good price, because some places are hiking that thing up now. Got an end cap real quick too, $34.99 for Green River Bourbon. Next to the Rickhouse proofs of the Ben Holiday, and also I did see their Elijah Craig store pick is right here. It is $79.99 for their 9-year pick. Look at this. Check it out. What you got? What do you hold?
I'll take a little Fortaleza. We can't get this in Texas.
Fortaleza Blanco. Okay, what's your price on it?
$65.99.
$65.99.
Not bad.
Fortaleza is amazing tequila. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
What's that?
another big thing, cream of
Cream of
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
People are
yeah.
going crazy for
Yeah,
that.
they got some cream of Kentucky stuff.
Cask and small.
Fortaleza. I don't dabble a whole lot in tequila, but when I do, I do love this stuff. And I know it's one of the Blantons of tequilas, but it really is fantastic.
It's additive free. It's historically made. Like if you ever go to the distillery there, it's Los Abuelos. That's the
Yes.
name in Mexico. They got sued and they can't use that name here, but very good tequila. I mean,
Great price. I don't think I've seen that in Louisiana yet.
oh wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Here, we did try their Maker's Pick. Is that $49? Dude, you see the price on this Maker's Pick? It's $49. I haven't seen one under $60 in a long time. And then behind the case here, here's some of the allocateds. We got Elmer T. Lee, $199. Stagg Jr. 24C, $199. $79.99 for Caribou Crossing. Old Fortune 1924, $189. I'd have pulled the trigger on that if it was like $130 or less. $249 for the double oaked. Blanton's is $139 here. $399 for the 10-year Parker Heritage Rye. $99.99 for Eagle Rare $7.99 for this year's George T. Stagg. I don't know much about this old Charter Oak, but $1.99 on that.
Yeah, so that's Buffalo Trace's like experimental line.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll do different wood finishes on old order, like you'll have a Mizunara and a French oak or stuff like that. But that's Buffalo Trace distillate.
How far off on the price is that?
They range anywhere from 150 in secondary up to 300 depending on the release.
So a little bit lower. Some of these are secondary a little bit above, but that was lower, you would say.
Yeah. And I'm sure hard for them to get. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Chris, you gonna try to get anything or what?
Trying to get the GTS.
Try to get the GTS. What are you gonna offer?
4.
Okay, let's see. He's gonna offer 400.
He's got a
something.
proposition for you.
Okay.
GTS, 400.
The George T.
Not for a drinker, not a flipper now. Someone that appreciates the juice.
I would have to check with the manager.
He offered 400. They have it labeled for 800. So you're asking 50% discount.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Can't do it for 550. All right, we tried though.
It was close.
He tried.
That was fair.
All right, we appreciate that.
George T. There it is.
Well, you turned it down. I was going to give him first right of refusal, but $550 for a 24 George T. Stagg? I'll do it.
Okay. He's buying the George T.
Let's go.
He's pulling it out the case. Okay. Let's see it. Hey yo.
I know somebody looking. So.
The 2024 George T. I love it. Let's go. Right before we're leaving, look, he's got his George T secured.
$275.
$275 is what he's offering now for the Parker Heritage Rye. They have it listed for $3.99. Chris over here just offered $2.75.
See what happens. I'm trying to get in business.
We'll see what happens, dude. He does got a hole in his pocket. I tried to convince him to hit the casino on the way home, and he was like, "No." So I guess this
Banned
is
from casinos, man. Poor decision.
All right, he's coming back.
$275.
$275. Chris got it. Let's go.
This is right.
The price is right, dude. Come on. We're leaving Tony's Liquor now. Let's show off what we got. Let's talk about what we paid. I didn't get anything.
Just this.
Okay. George T. Stagg, some Fortaleza, and some Parker's Heritage King Rye. You got out with $275.
Yep, $275.
$275. I do think that's under MSRP. I know for a fact that this is under this year's MSRP. I think like $650.
Secondary.
Yeah, excuse me, secondary. These are definitely over MSRP. But I think secondary is like $650.
Yeah.
So you saved $100 essentially.
Save $100.
And hard to find.
Hard to find for sure. That's the first time I've seen that in a store just on a shelf in a while. I know because of the price. They had it. What was it listed?
$750.
$750. So they had it above secondary and we got it below.
Two in 'em.
Sweet.
Tony's negotiates.
Tony's negotiates. I love it.
Hey, just bring me with you. I'll get you a deal.
Come on.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we'll see you at the next stop, probably the last one. Then we're going to do some tastings. See you there. Last and final stop in Shreveport. We're at Thrifty Liquor. Let's go check out the shelves. You hoping for anything?
Maybe a tater bottle. You never know.
Tater head. Let's go. Dude, look at these little baby sads. $10.99 for these. Those are cute. Pikesville Rye, $59.99. Somebody asked me about Pikesville recently. You like this one?
Yeah, from what I understand, like Pikesville and Remus are like the best ryes that they put in the bottles. You know, our best.
I'm a
stuff they can
huge
do.
fan. 110 proof Pikesville Rye is a fantastic one. If you're looking to get into rye, that's a good place to start.
You don't see that on the shelf much.
No, 1792 single barrel, $54.99. You're right. You don't. I wish it was a 12 year.
Yeah,
I love the
that thing's
12
great.
year. What I was about to point out too, this is a unicorn right here. Seriously, I don't see this no more. But the Dickel Tabasco, they literally age this. They barrel finish it in Tabasco barrels to make it look like a Tabasco bottle. If you've been in here since day one, you know I did a video with Jaron where we tried this. We called it the George T. Dickel. That's what we called it, the George T. Dickel. Because George Dickel, we put it, George T. Stagg. It was dumb. Anyway, $25.49, probably the best bottle of whiskey that money's gonna buy is the George T. Dickel. And I'm totally kidding. It's spicy, it's fun to shoot with your buddies, but it's not that great. I guarantee you there's gonna be some people in the comments saying, I can't believe you say that. It's a joke. Calm down. Bullet 10, 53, some Bullet Barrel Strain 51. Toasted Rye Elijah for $55.99. They got some Buffalo Trace for $26.99. It seems like around the Shreveport area, 26 is the solid price for Buffalo Trace. Another one, here you go, Maker's Pick for $75.69. I can't believe Tony's had that for like, what was the price? $49. This is the normally what you're gonna see a pick for. That's crazy that they had that. Rare Breed, $63.59. Is that? Yeah, $63.59. That's weird. Normally I see 99s a lot at stores. Like this one, for example, $68.99. $59, $39, some random prices. Pretty cool though. I have a feeling this is one of the older labels of the Rendezvous Rye.
The High West Rendezvous. Am I wrong on this, guys? 46 alcohol by volume. I don't know. I just feel like it's one of the older ones. But that's pretty cool that they have that there. It definitely looks old. Same thing with this American Prairie. I've seen the blacked out labels of that there. But yeah, this is Thrifty Liquor, man. Apparently it's a staple. There's 15 locations, something like that in Shreveport. We're gonna go taste some stuff that I've never had, ever. I'm very excited. We gave you a little preview of it earlier. That's what we're about to do. Russell's 16 year and a couple other things to cap off this video. Is gonna be excellent. We had a pretty solid day. Let's get to it though, all right? Yeah. Okay, I think the best way we start, here first. Well, it's lower proof.
This is lower.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Okay, let's go lowest. Yeah. We're drinking 16-year-old
16-year-old Russells. Went into the barrel at 107, stayed there for 16 years, came out at 89.5.
I don't know if I've ever smelled a sub 90 whiskey, sub 90 proof whiskey like with this.
You got the dust on it.
The dust for sure. It smells dusty.
It's got all the dust and all.
It smells like turkey.
Funk that I love.
I know you do. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one. I'm not gonna lie. I've always wanted to try it though. I mean, wow, beautiful.
It's unique.
Unique.
It's very completely different from the Russell 50.
That's really good. Whoa, but not that. I don't know. I almost said nasty. Funky. I think that, there's something with turkey sometimes that is mineral tasting. A lot of people talk about George Dickel tasting mineral. I think a lot of times a Russell's will taste like rocks, like you lick the rock, cement rock. This, oh, doesn't have that.
What was the nose on it for you too? What'd you smell?
The nose was like a Russell's 15, reminiscent of that to me. I couldn't believe that that's sub 90 proof if you gave it to me. I do think it sips a little hotter, which is fine, but my God, this is the flavor profile holds strong on this whiskey.
I think like 110.
110, yeah, that's so good though.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us try this.
Oh, yeah.
All these, man.
You bet.
I mean, this is great. We don't get to do this a lot on the tasting.
Whiskey's community.
That's right.
For me, it is anyway.
And we're trying to build an awesome community on Patreon. You've been a member for a very long time. Hooked us up with, we're going home with 5 Rebecca Creek Double Oaks today. I did forget to mention that to hook some folks up. I am super, super excited. 123.8 proof. I think these are Card got a few of these, the 123s.
Yeah.
I prefer this one over the one I have at home.
What'd you have at home, 122?
128.
128. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 128. Yeah, it's really good, but this 123, for those that don't know too, I know I've spoken about it a good bit. We're about to drink this. They're very well known for their double oak. Tastes just like it, in my opinion. I think I prefer this one, Rebecca Creek, and it's $60 versus, I think this was $200 this year.
Yeah.
Rebecca Creek Double Oak was phenomenal. And if there is still stores, especially if you're in Texas, that have this, I promise you're not gonna wanna miss it. Look at the color. Yeah, so we said at the same time,
from what
dude.
I was told, you can only get it at the distillery now, which is, I think, in Austin.
I think, dude, if you're somewhat like a few hour worth drive, you're not gonna find this Double Oak, 13th Colony Double Oak, anywhere. Make the drive and go get that. I promise you it's just as good, if not better, and it tastes very similar. Because they supposedly source as well.
Yeah, I like it when you and I were messaging.
Yeah.
You're like, how many did you buy? I said, all they had.
Yeah, you brought like 9+ bottles, I think, of it. So let's go here.
Virginia Stagg.
Yeah, Virginia Stagg.
I'm a big Four Roses fan. I'm excited for this.
You are. Now, I'm notoriously, before I pour this, not the craziest Four Roses limited edition fan. I think it's just okay. I got high hopes though.
This is the best one I've had.
Okay, smells pretty damn good.
So, they've got all those recipes, and back then they had 8. I think they have 10 now, but so this is more of the low rye recipe in it.
Lower rye, a little bit more sweeter. Okay. I mean, it smells great.
Less floral.
Yeah.
Andy?
Not for me.
Well, you like their single barrels?
Love some of their single barrels.
Which recipe do you
OESK I really like. I think that's a high rye.
What about OESO?
E it would be low rye. B would be high rye. The second letter.
Which one's K? Oh, E is low rye?
So E is for everybody. That's low rye. B is high rye.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's how I remember it. And then the last letter is the E string.
That should give a reason why. I don't want to just be the guy that says I don't like it. I think they don't have like a great mouthfeel on these. Not a whole great mouthfeel. I think if I were to do a blind with the red labels that came out this year,
yeah,
I think I would choose that more.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why, but that one reminds me so much of like a sweet caramel bomb versus this one has like a little bit of that dusty barrel note. I don't know if it's the barrel char coming through on it for me.
A little hair of it, yeah.
And I've notoriously just not been a big fan of the LE that came out every year, which is good. Like, it's fine. People have different palates and everything. And
Not everybody has to like it, and I get to save some money by not chasing after that
True
one.
that.
Too is that
True that.
you really like the 16 year, but to me the 16 year was much dustier than the 4 Roses.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's crazy. Yeah. This is more oaky. This is more dusty, like dirty water, if that makes sense. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm glad I got to try that one though.
Yeah, man.
This one, dude, I cannot believe. They have a single barrel. I tried Haystack Needle this year for the first time, actually. Look at the bottom too,
You know
by the way. Look at that. It's a Redwood trunk.
Bourbons and ryes.
Yeah, I haven't had the rye yet. This bourbon, though, I did get to try at Security Discount Liquors in Colorado with all my guys. I would have probably done some things I wouldn't like to admit to get one of these. Have you had Haystack Needle before? Oh, man.
It's special.
It is special, and I can't believe he has a single barrel of this.
So I looked up Redwood because when I got this, I looked at the age and I'm like, there's no way they've been around that long. But they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
But they're a very small distillery. They create 2 barrels a day. And they say because they create 2 barrels a day, they are intimately, have knowledge of those barrels in specificity. So,
Oh, to me, that's what this should be. If you're offering me that price tag, because I think this is around 150 to 200, maybe.
Yeah.
That is worth the price tag to me compared to this. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of the time that I had it for the first time. I would be curious to put this up against the regular small batch and see which one wins. They're both very good, phenomenal.
oh yeah.
15th anniversary. Do we know much about it besides the fact that it's 139 proof?
I mean, it's almost hazmat, obviously.
Yeah.
So I had this and the double oaked this year. I prefer this over the double oak.
I did not like this year's double oak.
Yeah, I didn't either.
This
I
is so
like-
much better.
I like the previous, I like the previous years, but this, the 15th was the star for me this year.
One thing about 13th, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I hear that they're not very transparent on what they do.
Sure.
Some people say it's MGP. Some people say no, they distill their own. The distillery has never came out themselves and said, we make our own or we source. Or some people have even said that they add color to their double oak. Look, I don't care what they do. I'm one of the people, I don't care what they do. Whatever they're doing, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it works.
And of course I'd rather them just come out and say, hey, we do this, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan. They make some of the best whiskey I've ever had, period. And that's the end of that. That's all I'll say on that. That's it. You ever had any at 13th besides my rye?
I'll just take a splash. I didn't like the one we had, but I haven't had this one either. That's a good thing.
You didn't like my rye?
No.
The hazmat?
Oh, you had a single barrel rye?
He also doesn't like Rebecca Creek double oak though. Yeah, I know.
No, that's much different though.
That's pretty good.
That's super oaky. I get the proof on
What
that.
proof point is that at?
139. Just a hair
Yeah.
under has.
I haven't really had much bad from them, ever. It's pretty solid.
It drinks 139.
You think? All of it, huh?
Oh yeah.
The Virginia George T. Last but not least, to top this off, I'm so glad we finally got to meet, by the way. We need to do this more often. This is A. Smith Bowman Cash Ring, 135.1 proof. Essentially, what they say is Buffalo Trace distills it. They use the barrels, the yeast, the everything. It just gets aged in Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that 2 different ways. I've heard that way, and then I've heard they buy it by the tanker truck and put it in their own barrels and then distill it.
Okay.
Or they
Redistill it?
redistilled in Virginia and then aged. So I don't know. They're very secretive about it.
I'll say on the nose, it doesn't smell like Buffalo Trace. It
What do
doesn't.
you get? What are you smelling?
It could be that 13 still in there. It smells a little bit more oaky. It doesn't smell like a Buffalo Trace barrel like that they use.
Maybe
Does it taste like it, Chris?
Dude, it's delicious.
It is.
Maybe a high proof Stagg.
I do get the Stagg, but I get a little more caramel, a little vanilla.
That's probably my favorite one that we just had. That's BTEC level,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
Joe got to go to the distillery this year and get one of these.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy that it came out. So I was at a drop, and it was actually raffle tickets and all that stuff, and I got drawn first, and they said, "What do you want?" And I took that.
Oh, awesome.
That's
Nothing
real
compares
good.
to that we've had, in my opinion. That's just by far.
I agree.
It's just superior. The finish, the
It's
palate.
like right before you swallow it, there's something there that it's like, it's not BTEC level, and then right when you swallow it and that finish hits, it's BTEC level. It's just so good. Doesn't sip at its proof. I think that's fantastic, magnificent. You guys see, what batch is this?
That's this year's 24.
Oh, I gotta try that.
Yeah, 24.
One more. Sorry. One more. We're keeping you here for one more. Let me try this real quick.
It's a good batch.
This is batch 13?
Yep. 127.4.
I hear phenomenal things about this. I didn't find a barrel proof this year. Oh, it's not open. Oh, no, it is open. Okay.
I got backups on backups on that.
What? Brother!
I had to. once I tasted it, I had to.
I found one every year for the past couple years, except for this year. Not being in Colorado, I guess. Louisiana doesn't get these, it seems like. I think Texas is one of the hot spots for bourbon, for sure.
Tons of Taylor out there.
We're trying this year's E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Batch 13. It's 127.3. That's one of the lower ones I've seen.
Yeah, every drop I've been to in Texas for the last 3 weeks has this straight and small batch.
Couldn't tell you which one I prefer between this and that. I couldn't. Maybe this, I think. A little bit.
A little different profile.
Little different profile.
Yeah. That one's more fruity to me.
I like this more than that. But they're close.
What's on the palate? Tell the viewers.
It's almost the same exact amount of sweetness and like he said, fruity, except this had a little bit more of that oak influence on it. And maybe that's 135 proof that's pulling the oak tannins. Instead of this, it's just gonna be a little bit lower, but I do prefer this, I think. This is really good.
Yeah, lots of red fruit on there.
Lots of red fruit, 100%. Well, look, I appreciate you, Chance, for coming out and meeting us today, bringing some awesome bottles, bourbon hunting with us, showing us around. I'm so glad I cannot wait till you come back in May so we can show you some of Lafayette.
We'll see your place.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to do it. We're going to do it big. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. I hope that you join the Patreon for an awesome community, because that's what it's all about, is meeting other people, community, and it helps support me as well. You know, I always say it puts food on our plates. Right. So thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. We've got some stuff coming up soon. See you there.